Hi guys, what's up? It's Katana here. So you may or may not know that there was a Q&A session taking place in the Sea of Thieves forums on the 31st of July, all about the Tall Tales with design director Mike the Mutinous Chapman and Andrew Preston, aka Kia! There have been other Q&As with the devs on the forums too, including talking about the arena, as well as Chris Alcock, the author of Athena's Fortune, has answered some questions about his wonderful novel too. I'm going to leave a little linky in the description there, so if you would like to have a look-see at them, then you can do so. Now, when I got the notification about the Tall Tale live Q&A session, I got excited, and so I waited for the time to come around. Then I realised that all of it would be on the forums. You see, where I had time to listen to something like this, I didn't have time to sit and read it all, which got me thinking that other people would be in the same rowboat as me. Though I understand why the devs did it this way, not only would some people not have time or not be able to read it all written down, but there are also people that struggle to read completely. So, though I'm not the most dynamic reader, as you will see, I am doing this video for them, so hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Okay, so the first one we come across is from Lethality 1. They said, it would be cool if the Tall Tale books could show somewhere on our ship once completed, on a bookshelf maybe. Further, the system could automatically show the combined list of completed books of everyone in the crew, and you can vote on them from there as a bonus. Any chance of something like this? They answered, love this idea, something we've discussed extensively, but we'd lose the specific cutscenes that happen at NPCs. However, for completionists, to show you've mastered the tales, it's a nice idea. EggGamer13 said, ahoy Chapman Hoarder and Andrew Hart. Here you have my first question. Do you have plans to make Tall Tales instead of Merce? Assume you mean mercenary voyages. Yes, we are planning new Tall Tales, they replied. Chrono Dusk said, been playing Sea of Thieves on a regular basis since 2 months after its launch. It's such a special experience for me. I just wanted to say that Tall Tales were very special to me and my crew. I wanted to see the Gold Hoarder himself rendered in game for a long time, and seeing him was a truly amazing thing. My regular crewmates happen to be my in real life best friends, so getting to have this multiplayer / shared world narrative experience that we were able to partake in together was just something we'll never forget. Thank you so much for Sea of Thieves, and thank you for Tall Tales. Question. Do you think we'll be seeing a short Tall Tales series for Pirate Legends, maybe based on the crew of Athena's Fortune? It would be a great way for players to be able to earn the ghostly eye curse of the mysterious stranger. P.S. As a composer myself, I could hear the influence from the Shawshank Redemption end credits theme in the Shores of Gold Be Calmed arrangement. Very charming. Robin Beanland is brilliant. The reply was, would love to build some Tall Tales exclusively for Pirate Legends. Would be very cool to build something custom for our most engaged players. Also, love the idea of building a curse around the mysterious stranger's eyes. I love that idea too. The next one is Marius. Marius said, loved all the Tall Tales and especially the cosmetics and curses. Will we see more curses and specifically unlockables, cosmetics for our pets, including pet curses in the future? Can't wait for the next Tall Tale. Can we get an idea of when the next Tall Tale will be released, and will they become more consistently released like the Bilge Rats monthly adventures are rolling out now? Thank you and keep up the amazing work. The reply was, yes, the curses that we were delivered as part of the Shores of Gold is just the start. While we have some new stories that we're excited to tell, a lot of the work we're doing at the moment is trying to ensure we can make them a regular thing for players. Lots of opportunities for episodic storytelling. That's exciting. For Von Blitz asked, Ahoy Emma, Mike and Andrew. Thank you for doing this Q&A. Questions for Mike and Andrew. Did you folks ever play with the idea of a giant boulder, a la Raiders of the Lost Ark, chasing you down a pathway on Tribute Peak? And if yes, why did you ultimately discard the idea? How many more unrealised trap concepts are still out there? What crazy ideas did the team come up with? I imagine you must have thought up a lot of different traps during development. Blow darts in walls, trapdoors, snake pits, trapdoors that drop you into snake pits, etc. Cheers. The reply was, haha, this is a cool idea. We didn't specifically have the boulder chasing you, but we did play with the idea of a large boulder dropping from the ceiling of some rooms. We also had prototypes of tripwires and some other traps as part of development, and have some new ideas for the future traps and mechanisms that we're very excited about, both as part of the new Tall Tales, but also to enrich the Emergent sandbox further. Guys, shit's getting real. Then we have Lericolenchi, who queried, Andrew, there was once a time where Rare's designers used to lay out their ideas on sticky notes, which was quite handy for side-scrollers. But with an added dimension since then, I was wondering if you could detail your own process when it comes to laying out / pitching an idea for the Tall Tales. Has everything gone a bit digital, or are the stickies still around? Sticky notes are still a massive thing here at Rare. We use them daily to design and illustrate ideas. We also use a mixture of digital to mock up UI elements in Photoshop or block out level design ideas in Maya. I did block out all of the 3D meshes for all of the swing traps for the Art of the Trickster to get them in early and test before 3D made the pretty version that you are in the game today. Captain Logan's put one down. He says, Greetings pirates, thanks for having this lore Q&A. I've typed out all my questions and hope I can get some answered today. Others are starting to finally believe that Duke is the Dark Lord. Have I been right all this time? Is Duke the Dark Lord? Can you lay out the timeline for when Tales from the Sea of Thieves, Athena's Fortune and the comics in relation to current Sea of Thieves? When can we expect the official release for the Trade Company comics? In Sea of Thieves, there is no mention of the Pirate Lord's real name. As far as we know, DeMarco and Laside don't know about their father in-game or him becoming a Pirate Lord ghost. Do they know about their father, or are they unaware of the Pirate Legend Tavern? Now that we have working hatches, can we get working doors on the galleons? Is the Silver Blade cosmetics from the insiders represent what Captain Flameheart's ship, the Silver Blade? Their retort was, Hey Captain, I can confirm that Duke is not a Dark Lord, winky face. However, Duke still has a story to tell in the future. Generally, the event of Athena's Fortune are 35 years in the past, and the events of Sea of Thieves comics are 10 years in the past, obviously before DeMarco and Laside founded the Sea Dogs. No plans to currently release the Trading Company comics, but would like to, as well as new related stories. DeMarco and Laside are aware of their father as a ghost and know of the Athena's Fortune Tavern. Doors are a little more complex, but we had them in the Sea of Thieves prototype in the early development and want to bring them into the game. Would be great to slam the door on a crewmate's face. Yes, the Silver Blade is the same design as the one featured in Tales from Sea of Thieves. Come on, Captain, make me sweat. Yuri Hamrain asked, a lot of things exclusive to the Tall Tales seem to be features that would be interesting to see organically in the world as features not directly tied to Tall Tales. For example, the traps from Art of the Trickster are exclusive to one mainland island because there is a mission there, part of the tale. However, I personally would find interesting to find a swinging axe or floor spikes in other places in the world not directly tied to that quest. Basically, my question is, has the team considered adding elements of the Tall Tales, traps, following constellations to treasure, hidden vault rooms with timed puzzles, into the emergent gameplay of Sea of Thieves organically, without the need of a story questline to lead you to them? Their reply was yes. In fact, while we chose those specific mechanics because they could form the basis of interesting stories, they were also considered in terms of how they could bring value to the rest of the game. We're actively working on ways we could enrich the existing voyages with some of the Tall Tale mechanics. So much potential. I'm very excited by this. Tales can showcase mechanics in a cool way, but can become more replayable as part of the voyages. This is what I love about this game. As he said there is so much potential. There are so many ways to go. It's endless. The possibilities are endless, and I love it. Lara Calanchi comes back with another question. Which Tall Tale did you find was most challenging of the bunch to develop? Their reply was, Shores of Gold was without a doubt the hardest Tall Tale to develop. Designing and building the island and making sure that we could fit it in the game was a big technical challenge. There was also a lot of considerations with other crew contending certain elements of the tale, which took a lot of thought and planning, but ultimately I'm extremely happy with how it turned out. My favourite tale to design was The Art of the Trickster, as it involved creating lots of new gameplay with the new trap system. My favourite tale overall though has to be The Legendary Storyteller. We really want to put in a tale with a strong life message about not growing cynical in old age, and always keeping that childlike view of the world. Tasha's story over this tale is beautiful and I'm very happy with where it landed. The quest book is also amazing. One Saint Pelugu said, got another question for you mates. In Tale 8, Revenge of the Morning Star, you will find the Chalice of Resurrection. So, is this Chalice of Resurrection from that tale the same chalice that cursed Flameheart into being a skeleton lord for all eternity? No, it isn't the specific chalice, but the same concept. There are numerous chalices that possess this power. Flameheart's chalice is in the hands of some very interesting individuals that you'll meet in the future. That sounds interesting. Then we have Quartermaster Zeta. They queried, I'm sure there's more Tall Tales coming in the future, but will it release 9 every time, or will there be mini stories like a set of 3? To add on, how often will we see tales? The reply was, we want to make the release of them regular and predictable, and as I mentioned earlier, there's so much potential with episodic storytelling. The 9-tale arc worked well for Shores of Gold, but I don't think we're tied to this. We could do 3-tale arcs, 5-tale arcs, as well as self-contained stories. Wouldn't want to tie us into a limiting format. I like that idea. That's probably the best way to go about it. 9 would be too much at a time, every time, I think. Doing bits here and there would be brilliant. Cat Drew Walker said, Ahoy Mike the Mutinous and Kia, and thanks so much for taking time to answer questions on the forums. I have one here at RL Captain Nemo has asked me to put his question for him. Have you ever thought of quest items staying in your inventory so other players can't take them from you? Their reply was, we did, yes, but ultimately felt it was the best balance for our game to have them as quest items as it drive more interesting stories between the crew. Under that, JK Miller 123 says, do you plan on adding value to tale items for other players? It's a bit disappointing boarding a ship then seeing they have nothing that I can sell for gold or commendations. They said, "We're looking at the best way we can do this." Yelmerk? I'm not sure if I'm saying these right, I hope I am. So Yelmerk said, "Are there any plans to add ship battles into Tall Tales? What are some of the main lessons learned from Shores of Gold? Can we get a Tall Tale involving being drunk in some way?" Ship battles? They said. Main lessons learned from Shores of Gold. How to build a connected narrative in a shared world. We did briefly have a section where you had to be drunk to look through the spyglass to see things in the art of the trickster tale, but ultimately replaced it for the skull carving on the glass gameplay instead. Lericalanchi's back with another question. They said, "Has there been a Tall Tale that changed radically through its development? If not, are there any sorts of things to look out for when it comes to seeing the vision of the tales through to completion?" The retort was, "The original pitch to the Tall Tales team involved 10 tales from start to finish in terms of the story and the use of mechanics. Ultimately, 10 tales felt like one too many as part of that story. But really, that's the only thing that changed. The specific puzzles were fleshed out and we iterated on difficulty and specific pieces. Generally though, the broad strokes were there in that early pitch fully formed. The challenge is always telling the right story, but tying it to interesting gameplay that still worked as part of a shared world." Captain Broly has an inquiry. "Ahoy! Are the new Tall Tales coming 2019 or 2020? The answer is yes! Kyriog says, "Hi Andrew and Mike. First of all, I want to congratulate the whole Rare team for the Tall Tales. That was a really good moment to enjoy. Here's my question. I'm wondering why George's music box from Wild Rose can't make music. This is currently something that seems more rural than Tool. Wink wink. Thanks for your time." Their answer was short and sweet. Winky face, winky face, winky face, ... shocked face. Jeff86 queries, "A few characters are mentioned by NPCs or in item descriptions in game. Are there plans to work any of those characters into future Tall Tales or find other ways to expand upon them? I'm particularly curious about the backstory of Sea Dog Pegleg." The answer is, we're always looking at the NPCs we've built and how we can build out their backstories. Winky face. I love a good winky face, don't you? Duplicity says, "Is there going to be any kind of pets in the future?" We all know the answer to this one. Yes! Smiley face. Ardrick says, "In the heavy trap section of the Tall Tales, would you consider setting up a lever or something similar that would allow the first person to make it through a trap sequence to deactivate the traps? Maybe just for a limited time. This would allow players that are not as skilled as the twitch reflex or platforming aspects of some of the traps to be able to progress with their more skilled crew. As it stands now, members of the crew can be left out of the experience if not everyone is able to make it through all the traps." Their reply was, "This sounds like a cool idea. The traps and mechanisms system is very flexible and will be improved further in the future. Ideas like this sound great." So there we go guys, that's just some of the questions and answers that they had on this forum. This is going to be part 1 and part 2 will be coming up soon. Thank you so much for watching and I really hope you enjoyed it so far.